Creativity is, I believe, a personality-derived skill that people are born with and that it has the potential to be enhanced or diminished over the course of their life due to one's experiences. Creativity is embodied by all people in whatever they do, see, think, or the way that they act. This idea of embodiment, from my perspective, comes from an anthropology and sociology angle, as I've completed both of these degrees. But I understand an embodiment not only as the study of the human body as an object, but also how people utilize this object, their bodies, for the culture that they live in and for themselves.
So looking at this idea of embodiment, I tend to take the perspective of an anthropological and sociological side, and that's only because that's the field and the discipline that I come from. That's not to say that creativity does not exist in every single field. I'm not stating that at all. It's just that every different field has its own personal way or particular way of actually expressing creativity. So using the anthropologist Drid Williams' ideo-semasiological analysis of the idea of embodiment, I use creativity in my life to express myself through music, actually. That's how I think I best express myself. I am a saxophonist. I've been a saxophonist for 12 years, and I'm using this example because my saxophone has helped to nurture my creativity to quite a large extent. So the first time I played the saxophone, my teacher asked me straight up, he just went, try and put it together, because of course it comes in 3 pieces, which is very important: the mouthpiece, the neck, and then of course you've got the body. Or of course it goes into a long neck and it's a bell, so that's the body of the saxophone. So after I had that struggle, he also told me just to blow it, just straight away, just blow as hard as you can and see if you can get a note out. And when I struggled so badly, which of course everybody would in their first try, it made me really realise how much effort and how much construction is needed for me to actually use this instrument to express myself. And that also showed me how important teachers are. We take it for granted that we have the tools and the mechanism, and of course most importantly the degree, to actually instruct students in their field of education. Of course we forget these things, that not everybody follows the same train of thought as us, which is another way that I found that saxophone was the best for me. I would think of, or I would hear jazz pieces that I wanted to learn, or that I wanted to incorporate into my music. That wasn't what I was learning. So my saxophone teacher, he would actually encourage me to go out and find these pieces of music and try and actually create my own music to play for him and actually write it down, thus furthering not only my, well, we call them fingering patterns, my tone, everything in those kind of mechanical regards, but it also furthered my idea of analysing the semiotics of playing a saxophone, which is a very important part of creativity. Normally play a saxophone either standing or sitting on a chair or something. Embodying creativity is a part of everyday life, and it is also very important to individuals, as that is how they express themselves and that's how they can communicate with the rest of society. We as teachers and practitioners in the field of education, we need to understand this and apply it to our work. So in conclusion, we need to understand as teachers and future practitioners that everybody has their unique way of being creative. Everybody has a unique way of being who they are and using that in their own work. And we, as teachers, we need to support that, and we also need to understand that. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult for us to actually become proper, good teachers for our students and for ourselves.